we study Shankar environment books. Okay, so we discuss for the important chapter. The chapter name is institutions and measures. Okay, institutions and measures. Chapters 26. Please 2018 edition. Okay, new editions book. So first we discuss National Wildlife Action Plan. Okay, so the first National Wildlife Action Plan was adopted in 1983 based upon the decision taken in the 15th meeting of the Indian Board for Wildlife held in 1982. The plan had outlined the strategic action points for wildlife conservation which were still relevant. Okay, so still it is relevant to discuss it. Okay, so here we discuss all the things. The first National Wildlife Action Plan adopted in 1983 based upon the decision taken. Okay, yeah, in the 15th meetings of the Indian Board for Wildlife held 1982. The plan had outlined the strategies and action points for wildlife conservation which are still relevant. In the meanwhile, however, some problems have become more acute and new concerns have become apparent, recurring change in priorities, increased commercial and natural resources, continued growth of human and livestock population, and change in consumption pattern and causing greater demographic impacts, biodiversity conservation, and has thus become a focus of interest. The National Forest Policy was formulated in 1998, giving primacy to conservation. First National Wildlife Action Plan in 1983 has been revised, and the Wildlife Action Plan 2002-2016 has been adopted. Okay, so strategy. Next we discuss strategy for action. So here you can understood. So some of the basic problems come here. Increase commercial use of natural resources. Okay, so commercial growth of human and livestock population. The National Forest Policy was also formulated in 1988, giving primacy into conservation. The first National Wildlife Action Plan 1983 has been revised. Yeah, has been revised. So it has been revised, and the Wildlife Action Plan 2002-2016 has been adopted. Strategy for action, adopting and implementing strategies, and lined about will call for action covering the following parameters. Oh, here you have missed everything. Here is some of the important parameters now. Strengthening and enhancing the protect area network, effective management of protected area, conservation of wildlife and endangered species and their habitats, restoration of degraded habitats outside protected area, controlling poaching, taxidermy and illegal trading, monitoring research and species, plant species, okay, in wildlife, and so control of poaching and illegal trade, taxidermy and illegal trade in wild animal and plant species. Okay, and next monitoring and research. And human resource development and personal planning, ensuring people's participation in wildlife conservation. Okay, so conservation awareness and education, wildlife tourism, domestic legislation and international convention, enhancing financial allocation and for ensuring sustainable food fund flow to the wildlife sector, integration of National Wildlife Action Plan with other sectoral programs, national afforestation and eco-development. Third, the Ministry of Environment and Forest constituted the National Afforestation and Eco-Development Board (NAEB) in August 1992. The National Afforestation and Eco-Development Board has evolved specific schemes for promoting afforestation and management strategies which help the states in developing specific afforestation and management strategies and eco-development packages for augmenting biomass production through a participatory planning process of joint forest management and micro-planning. National Afforestation Program. So a National Afforestation Program was launched in 2002, which involves plantation integrated forest in the country. National Afforestation Program is a flagship program of National Afforestation and Economic Development Board and provides physical and capacity building support to the forest development agencies, which are implementing agencies. So National Afforestation Program was launched 2002, which involves plantation integrated forest in a country, and the National Afforestation Forest flagship program. The Afforestation Program is a flagship program of National Afforestation and Economic Development Board (NAB) and provide physical and capacity building support to the forest development agencies, which are the implementing agencies. नेक्स्ट हम डिस्कस करेंगे compensatory afforestation fund management and planning authority. CAMPA, compensatory afforestation fund management and planning authority, CAMPA Act. So according to prior approval on the Forest Conservation Act 1980 for the diversion of forest land and non-forest purpose, central government stipulates conditions that amounts shall be realized from user agencies to undertake compensatory afforestation and such activities related to conservation and development of forest to mitigate impact of diversion of forest land. In April 2004, the central government, under the orders of the Supreme Court, constituted the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority (CAMPA) for the management of money towards compensatory afforestation and other money recoverable in compliance of the conditions stipulated by the central government and in accordance with the Forest Conservation Act. So here in April 2004, the central government under the orders of Supreme Court constituted the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority (CAMPA) for the management of money towards compensatory to afforestation and other money recoverable in compliance of the conditions stipulated by the central government and in accordance with the Forest Conservation Act. CAMPA as envisaged by the Supreme Court of India by its order dated 29/30/2002 could not become operational due to non-passing of compensatory afforestation fund by 2008 in the Parliament, but got lapsed in compliance of orders passed by the Honorable Supreme Court. These amounts are deposited by the state-wise accounts operated by an ad hoc authority consisting of two officials and Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, one respected representative of the Comptroller and Attorney General, and one respective of the chairperson of the Central Empowered Committee. In the absence of permanent institutional mechanism, more than 40,000 crores have accumulated with the said ad hoc body. So here you can see, in the absence of permanent institutional mechanism, more than 40,000 crores have accumulated with the said ad hoc body. So here, in order to provide for the establishment of funds under the public accounts of India, okay, and the public accounts of each state. Okay, so here you can see each state and creating there too the monies received from the user agencies towards compensatory appreciation, additional compensatory appreciation, panel compensatory appreciation, net present value, and all other amounts recovered from such agencies under the Forest Conservation Act 1980. Okay. Central government introduced the compensatory appreciation fund bill 2015 in the Lok Sabha on 8th May 2015. The bill also provides for constitution of an authority at national level and each of the states and in territory administration for administration of the funds and to utilize the monies collected for undertaking artificial regeneration plantations, assisted natural resources, natural regeneration, protected for forest infrastructure development, and the Green India program, wildlife protection and other related activities, and for matters and connected to dairy with or incidental dairy too. So in future, these funds will receive payments for compensatory appreciation net present value of forest. Okay. Other project specific payments, the national funds will receive 10% of these funds, and the state funds will receive the remaining 90%. These funds will primarily spent on afforestation to compensate the loss of forest cover, regeneration of forest cover, okay, so regeneration of forest ecosystem, wildlife protection and infrastructure development. They will also establish the national and state compensatory afforestation fund, management planning authorities to manage the national state funds. Okay. So next we discuss joint forest management. So here is joint forest management. Now we discuss joint forest management is an initiative to institutionalize participatory governance of country forest resource by involving the local communities living close to the forest. This is co-management institution to develop partnership between forest range communities and forest development on the basis of mutual trust and jointly defined roles and responsibilities with regard to forest protection and regeneration. The joint forest management is started in consolidations the National Forest Policy 1988, which has recognized the importance of involving the local communities with the government. Again, the government has issued necessary resolutions and guidelines subsequently to initiate such institutions and strengthen it further. Most of the states of India had adopted have adopted joint forest management and issued resolutions permitting such partnership as per the prescribed guidelines through the institutional structure varies across the states under joint forest management. Both forest departments and local communities come to an agreement to form the committee to manage and protect the forest by sharing the cost and benefits. The forest department takes the initiative to form such committee directly by talking to the local community or through the help of NGO working in specific area. Specific areas. Okay. NGO also involved. NGO are also involved for capacity building, information dissemination, monitoring and evaluation, and of an act of as a facilitators in constituting these participatory institutions. So here you can see all the things. Okay, James started with the National Forest Policy 1998. Recognize the importance of involving local communities, and the government has issued necessary resolution guidelines subsequently for initiate such institutions and strengthen it further. Most of the states in India have adopted the FM and issued resolutions permitting such partnership as per the prescribed guidelines through the institutional structure varies across the states under the FM. Both forest department and local communities come to an agreement to form the committee to manage and protect the forest. So usually forest departments take forest department take the initiative to form such committee directly by taking to the local community and through the help of the NGO working in specific area. NGO are also involved for capacity building, information dissemination, monitoring and evaluation, and often act of the funds facilitating and constituting these participatory institutions. One of the key objectives of the Joint Forest Management Program is the rehabilitation of degraded forest lands and fails participation involving forest protection committees. Joint forest management brings a win-win situation for both forest departments as well as the local communities in terms of the greater access to monitor for product producers from the regeneration forest. Yes, so next we discuss social forestry next time. So thank you friends.